now we've already made our composed salad for some of you at home, our lemon vinaigrette we have accomplished, and our braised pears for either dessert or for our salad. So it's time for our grand finale, our entree, our main course, one of my favorite dishes, chicken piccata, 2021 style here at the Ferguson kitchen, the GE kitchen, and this gorgeous showroom. So first thing, just like everything else we've done today, let's have all of our mise en place, let's have all our ingredients out, because here we are using chicken. You know, everyone's a little scared to cook chicken or cross-contamination. We're gonna make sure we keep everything super clean, as well as cook our chicken through, but still have a nice juicy piece of chicken. So our first step is gonna be to butterfly our chicken. So what butterflying is, it's a butterfly, it has 2 wings. We're not killing any butterflies, but what we are gonna do is our chicken breast, which is a nice 8-ounce piece, you're gonna put it to the edge of your cutting board. So the edge of the board. The most important thing is I'm gonna put my hand on top of it very firmly. I have a knife that is at least the length of my chicken. And all I wanna do with my sharp knife is go right through, and I have 2 wings, you have a butterfly, and more importantly, you have 2 pieces of chicken. All right, so now that we've successfully butterflied our chicken, and again, take your time, hand on top. Do not have your thumb in, do not have your fingers in. Make sure your knife's sharp and go right through the middle of it. Now, we're gonna get our pounder. So, meat pounder has 2 sides. I don't know if you've used a pounder, but if you haven't, that's okay, no problem. It was a stressful year. What a great time to pound your meat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pound both sides of our chicken. What pounding's doing is not only is it fun, but it is also tenderizing our meat, and it's gonna make our chicken much easier to cook. If you would like, put a piece of plastic wrap on top or on the bottom, and what that'll let you do is really unleash some stress. So now I've pounded my chicken into 2 pieces. Before I proceed, I'm gonna just quickly season it with some salt and pepper. Season both sides. Whenever you're doing anything, it's very important to season each aspect. All right, so now that it's pounded out, it's seasoned on both sides, I'm gonna grab one of my foil pans, and I've actually already put a 1/4 cup of flour. I know, I cheated. So all you're gonna do is put your flour in a container or in something that's wide enough. I don't want flour, chicken flour getting anywhere. So this is a perfect pan, I can toss it afterwards. I'm gonna add a little touch of salt to it as well. So now let's talk about dredging. What dredging is flouring whatever you're doing. In this case, it's chicken, but you just wanna get enough flour on both sides. So I'm gonna very easily, one side down, the other side down, and then I'm actually gonna hold it up and sort of shake off the excess flour. All right, so now that we have all of our mise en place together, we have our capers, which we're gonna use 2 teaspoons, 6 or 7 cherry tomatoes, give it some nice vibrant color. We're gonna finish it with some basil, and we've already used our salt. We are ready to get to the stove, where we'll be joining our olive oil and our saute pan. All right, now we've transitioned. We're stove side right now, where we're gonna start our chicken. We're gonna do this in 2 parts. We're gonna get our chicken nicely seared. We're gonna take it off the stove. We're gonna finish our sauce, and then we're gonna put our chicken back in our sauce to give it as much flavor as humanly possible. So far I've put enough olive oil just to coat the bottom of my pan. I have my heat on medium to high right now. My chicken's right here, nicely dredged. I have my tongs in my hand to make sure I'm not gonna burn myself. Now that our pan's properly heated up, and it's very important to heat your pan. Don't be scared of the heat. If it's not hot enough, your chicken will stick. So now our pan's nice and hot. How can we tell that it's hot? You can put a little flour down, you'll see it sizzling up, or just put your hand above it, not in a dangerous manner. You'll feel the heat, and you'll see almost a little bit of smoke building. So I am gonna put my chicken, I'm gonna hear that gorgeous sound of sauteing, which is exactly what I want. All right, as you can hear that nice sizzle sound of the nice saute, we're about 2.5 to 3 minutes into the one side. We're waiting for it to get nice and brown. And in about 1 minute, we're gonna do our flip. I'll tell you when to know when your chicken's fully cooked, but we'll get there in a second. Let me flip my chicken. this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a nice golden caramelization. My chicken is flipped successfully, and based on the thickness of my chicken, I'm only gonna cook it for about 2.5 to 3 minutes, because I'm also gonna finish it off in the pan with the sauce, which is gonna keep cooking it. Still looks like a butterfly. And now I'm gonna start my sauce. What my sauce is gonna be is very simple, but it's gonna move very quickly. So you're gonna make a roux. What I'm doing right now is lowering my heat a little bit to a low to medium heat, because I was on a medium to high heat. I wanna get that nice sear. What that does is brings all that flavor out of the chicken. So I have my butter ready. I have a touch of flour ready. Just follow the exact ingredients to make the roux. And the liquid I'm gonna use today is a chicken stock. I'm gonna use 8 ounces of chicken stock. Again, you want your chicken to be really close by, because once the sauce comes out, and then I'm gonna quickly add my capers, I put my chicken right back in, 3 minutes, and I'm already ready to start plating. All right, our butter's almost melted. One thing you will wanna have is your whisk. So what I'm gonna do is just 2 teaspoons of flour with a 1/4 cup of butter. And again, this is for our sauce. So we've added our flour, and we're gonna whisk this. Whisk, whisk, whisk. You wanna make sure all the butter and flour are fully incorporated with each other. And we are going to slowly add our chicken stock. You do wanna keep your heat on. You wanna be at about a medium heat. So what a roux does is thickens anything that we're doing. So if you're making a soup, these are all great techniques that you can use in the future also. I know I make a roux all the time. Bechamel is from a roux, mac and cheese, deliciousness, chicken pot pie. All right, so now that our roux is done, we are gonna add. All right, so now that the roux is in there, I've incorporated it all. I wanna just keep sort of stirring my pan. I'm gonna do a little chef trick and just sort of motion the ocean. I'm just going in a circular motion, and I'm watching this thicken up. That's what it's gonna do. So now that it's all incorporated, I am going to add my chicken back into this sauce that's developing. And now I'm thinking about what's gonna hit my plate. How's it gonna look? Do I wanna have some pasta on the side? Today I'm not making pasta. You at home might wanna have a little pasta, because there will be some sauce to coat your pasta. Now I'm gonna very simply add 2 tablespoons of capers. I know this is not a tablespoon, but 2 tablespoons would be the perfect measurement. I love capers, so maybe I added about 3. I cheated. And then we're also gonna have some cherry tomatoes. So the cherry tomatoes is a little different in a chicken piccata. The reason I'm using the cherry tomatoes is it's different. This is a new year, a different year, 2021. And I wanna add a little bit of tang to my piccata sauce. So the finishing touches are gonna be my cherry tomatoes. We're gonna use about 6 or 7 cherry tomatoes. And then we're gonna also finish it with a half a lemon juice. I'm gonna juice the lemon right over it, and be very careful of my seeds, but you should do that ahead of time. That's what I highly recommend to make it easier, cleaner, and a one-stop process right from the counter to the stove and then back. All right, now we're gonna move our cutting board that had the raw chicken on it out of the way. So for our finishing touches, we have our basil over there. I have a lemon that's a little hidden over here. So what I'm gonna do is juice our half a lemon. Look at this. This is a juicy lemon, very juicy, which is great. I love the delicious tang that the lemon's gonna give. So that's our half a lemon juiced inside. We have our capers, which are gonna add some saltiness. We have our tomatoes, which are gonna add some acidity. And then I'm gonna finish it with a chiffonade basil. What is a chiffonade basil? Basil cut like ribbons. All right, now that our sauce is looking absolutely delicious, we are gonna come back to our plating counter. One thing that scares people a lot before I plate my chicken is, how do you know when your chicken's done? I know because I've cooked it long enough, and I've told you all how to cook it long enough, but most importantly, there's no elasticity. It's nice and firm. I can put my finger right through it, and because we tenderized it, it actually cooks at a higher speed. So let me grab my nice white plate, and we are coming right from this delicious Ferguson kitchen. Now we are ready to start plating our chicken piccata. Now that it's plated, what I'm gonna do is I actually use half of my sauce on the plate because I like to have a nice amount of sauce in my chicken. So as you can see with the thickness of the sauce, you can definitely put it on vegetables or pasta. It's gonna coat it really, really well as it coats our chicken extremely well. And then to finish it off, you know what? I am not gonna chiffonade or make my ribbon cuts. I'm just gonna put a nice piece of crispy basil right on top. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Ferguson showroom, the GE Kitchen. It has been such a pleasure. I hope that you have the most delicious 2021 chicken piccata, lemon vinaigrette, and caramelized pears. And again, my name is Chef Chris Nirschel. Thank you for having me in your home.